I was very lucky. I knew what I wanted to do when I was a young girl. I wrote a letter to myself when I was 11 to be opened at 21, which I still have. And I opened the next day, and the opening line was, "I want to be an author," admittedly spelled E-R. I believe I joined the Women's Forum in 1976. I'm not absolutely sure of the year, but it was soon after I became a vice president of Colgate, running Helene Rubinstein, and Ellie Guggenheim approached me. But certainly the big word was, we want to network like men. And we were not networking like men. We're so surrounded with networking today that many of the new members, or even people that have been members for the past, say, 20 years, don't realize how far we've come, because that's true. To network is something we take for granted now, whereas networking in those early days was very new. I was a Cockney sparrow. I was born within sound of Bow Bells. That's the great church of Bow. And I took a job in the typing pool at the Daily Mirror when I could have had a job that paid much more. I wrote all the time. I wrote little stories. I wrote, and I attracted attention. I was not afraid to go to my boss and say, "Give me a chance." While I was at the Standard, I also became beauty editor of Harper's Bazaar. Then Alex Lieberman saw my work and asked if I would come to Vogue. In those days, and when I came to America in the 70s, Vogue and Harper's Bazaar were the size of menus. And it was a very tough time, and the beauty business helped. And I was in the right position. So choosing what you want to do is another thing. I returned to Vogue after Helene Rubinstein. And then came the beginning of the .com era. And I was persuaded to run ibeauty.com. But unfortunately, the .com era did not last. And iBeauty didn't last. And then Anna asked me to come back as a contributing editor in a really rather substantial way, really contributing. And now, my God, how many years ago is that? And so now I am indeed the oldest living editor on the masthead. At the Women's Forum meetings, there's a lot of listening that you can do. Mind you, you have to ask the right questions as well. But I think from the point of view of why have I stayed all these years, quite apart from the fact that I would hate it to disappear because it's such an important part of our whole lives, is that opportunity of meeting my former self in many different guises. I think everybody who stays with the Women's Forum, they may not put it in the same words, but it is an opportunity to meet your former self, to meet younger people who you recognize a lot of what you were, and hopefully still retain some of it. I like to think, in fact I know, I will always remain a member of the Women's Forum until I finally croak.